Okay, we're here with John Pellowe from Meyersound. John, how's the show going for you today?
Well, it's great. We've had so much interest here. I understand from people that have talked to me that we've caused quite a stir here with our Constellation demos, and people have been able to actually experience how we can change the acoustic environment of a trade show booth. And that for me is great, that they can get in a sample of how we could actually do it in a real performing arts centre or concert hall.
It's pretty radical stuff. What are your normal suggested installation applications for Constellation?
Well, we're looking for primarily, I suppose, performing arts centres and people building multi-purpose halls where they want to be able to do rock and roll in the morning, and then in the afternoon they might want to do a classical recital, and then in the evening they might want musical theatre, and they might even want to then turn it into a lecture theatre and have a voice lift application. We can provide all of those things just by pressing buttons on an iPad. It's as simple as that.
That's fantastic. Now, the actual technology behind Constellation, it's not like a normal PA system, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. Instead of having point sources, which is the principle of PA systems, so you have as few point sources as possible. With Constellation, we distribute loudspeakers and microphones throughout a building, and they're fairly evenly distributed, and you might maybe have 200 loudspeakers distributed throughout the hall, and you might have 70 or 80 microphones. So they're all distributed throughout the space.
As far as driving that, obviously you can't just feed the same thing to every speaker. There's some pretty serious DSP involved.
Yeah, we've got our Viras reverberators. We host Constellation on our Dimitri digital audio system. We have Viras reverberators, and we can use those to distribute reverberant sound throughout the space. But Constellation works in two ways. We can take our various microphones distributed throughout the room, we can increase the gain of the system, and by doing that we can increase the resonance of the room. We can effectively reduce the absorption of the surrounding surfaces. In addition, we can use the reverberators to expand the size of the room, so we can actually make the room feel bigger than it really is. Now, some architects and acousticians have used physical chambers to do this in halls, where they've got doors that open up and increase the volume of the room. That's fine, but it's very expensive to build, whereas a Constellation system is a much more economically viable way of doing this.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, in this situation, we're not going to shoot a demo, but you've got some good demonstrations online, don't you?
Yes, if you go to www.meyersound.com, right in the middle of our webpage there's a Constellation logo. If you click on that, you can read all sorts of goodies about the technology that we're using, about places where we've installed Constellation, and there are some technical papers there as well, and case studies of venues that are up and operating and are very happy with their Constellation systems.
Fantastic. Now, about controlling the system, you mentioned you can control it off an iPad. How long does it take to change the configuration of the system from one mode to another?
Well, it's as simple as pressing a button, so that you can make the reverberation time very long or very short.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, just by pressing a button on an iPad. So
that's fantastic.
It's that simple.
And you're not wearing a mic, and we can hear that now.
No mics, no. In fact, and I'm using a voice lift system here that's just capturing the sound, and if I turn it off, you immediately hear the acoustic claps around you.
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't come across on your mic very well, but you can, nonetheless, you can hear it.
Yeah. That's fantastic. John, thank you very much for the explanation, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome,
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.